Tell your neighbor you're welcome to this gathering. I want to say this because today is marking a new day. Something big is about to happen right here. And for me, this is our first edition. This is the first meeting. We're having a money talks, and first in the sense that we're going to have many more coming monthly. We said, let's start something different. Let's create that space where we talk about money. And let's discuss about it. How many of you know this is important? You agree with me this is important? Usually I go around, we have meetings on different states. And I said we need to start something in Abuja. We haven't done something serious in Abuja like this. And the meeting should not just be about regular seminar. It should be a practical discussion on the basic needs, major needs of man, because almost everything today, everything is tied to money. True or true? I read human anatomy in University of Port Harcourt. I graduated as human anatomist. For 4 years in university, all I was studying was the human body. I love sharing this story. The truth is, growing up as a child, I was thinking I'm going to become very successful. I wanted to become very successful. That's why I always tell people, success comes from desire. Every successful man you meet today, one way or the other, had a desire. It all started with desires. You understand? It all started with, I want to be successful. Do you understand me? And because people develop this hunger, they start attracting those things to themselves. And I'm one of those persons that started with the right desire growing up. I saw my father working in Presidential Hotel, and that hotel seems to be like the Lincoln Transcorp Hilton right here in Port Harcourt over there. Growing up there, I usually see people living good life. Do you understand? And he wasn't living that good life. So when I asked my dad, he usually told me, I see him greeting people, sir, young boys. And he would tell me the reason why he's greeting these boys, sir, is because they have more money. And he said, and the reason why they have more money is because they went to school. So he felt not being able to go through university was the only reason why he's not so successful. Are we together? So I just picked the information quickly, and all I told myself is, no long story. This thing has to be through school. So I wanted to become a medical doctor because I was also told medical doctors are rich. Not because I have interest in anything called medicine. And I gained admission as under human anatomy. They told me if you read human anatomy and you go back to medicine, you become a very good surgeon. This is practical, and I wanted to be a good surgeon. But you see, the number one, I wasn't like my other colleagues. Their desire to become medical doctor was real. Some were real, like they had it like a calling. They loved the whole thing called medicine. In fact, the money was not their interest. They just wanted that thing called hospital. They wanted to be around that space. I don't think that was my desire. Because as I was searching, if I had 5 problems that brought me to school, number 1 was money. Number 2 was money. Number 3, money. 4, money. 5, money. So, in my own case, I wanted to figure this thing out. And that was my number 1 interest. So I started searching. I can't forget I have a small phone then. It's a Sergeant phone. That phone never dies. I used that phone till I inherited it. Today phones go bad. Those phones don't go bad. So I was using that phone and I was researching the richest men on this earth. I think I was on my 200 level then. I was searching. And then I started looking. I started reading the names. I couldn't trace anyone to their career. So the fact I didn't see medicine there, that was the day my passion died. Instantly, bam! I became interested in topics that has to do with money. So when we've come beyond just what I did for myself, I'm now thinking, what can I do for others? Because this is how far this thing went for me. I started reading every book that has to do with money. I buy books like Rich Dad Poor Dad. I know that many of you went through that book. Some of us experienced it, right? I can't forget my first experience with that book. It was as though the poor dad was my father. As I was reading it, everything was real to me. I can't forget my other experience. Think and Grow Rich. When I bought Think and Grow Rich, my elder sister tapped me and said, the next book I need to buy is make the money now. Because I was reading these things honestly. Please get some for me, as I call it. I was reading this thing honestly, and my lives were not changing. So my sister said, the next book I need to read, and I don't know how many of us have been in such condition. I saw a guy selling a book on the road one day. And how many books? Is that the Secret of Billionaires or something? And the brokenness. I just pity the guy. So I'm going to read this book. Stop selling, just read the book. It's obvious that I can tell you, I was passionate about, I bought one book called Think Like a Millionaire. I haven't read the book. I saw another book called Think Like a Billionaire. I switch. If you write a book and just put money in front, even if nonsense is inside, I will buy it those days. I'm showing you how much I wanted to learn this topic. You won't blame me. Coming from where I came from is important. Because as I was growing up, my parents taught me to see lack of money as a demonic issue. I don't know what you learned. What did you learn about lack of money? We have different prayer points when there is no money. In fact, my mother can list them. We buy them like spirit, and we know they are spirit. We have spirit of lack and want. You will pray for that one. The one I love more is when she says, let's pray for spirit of hand to mouth. Maybe you don't understand the prayer. She will explain it, so you need to know why you need to pray. She explained to us that these are the spirits holding my father. One I love so much, hand to mouth. She explained it so well that anytime you walk, everything you walk from hand to mouth, hand to mouth, hand to mouth. So you can picture the story. The one I love is near success syndrome. Anytime you are close to this thing, things doesn't work for you. The only problem I have with those prayers was how the demons get to lose themselves the next day and attack my father again, because we bind it yesterday. That was the only issue I had, nothing else. But this is something for me, it's practical, because today, standing here talking to you, I've tasted what some of my generations could not taste. Not because of the opportunity, but because of the mindsets. I speak to my siblings, I tell them, it's not about how many opportunities that will come from, it's a shift of the mindset. I was also in this family. When there was a mind shift, I could understand money. See, problems happening today is not like people are lacking opportunity. They just don't even understand money. A lot of people make money, but they don't understand how. They just go to job and get the salary. But that thing called money, they don't understand it. And I'll be true to you that they learn it. Until you accept that this is something I have to learn. I have to give time to and understand it. And there are only three areas. First thing I had to understand is how to make it. Say, make it. How to make it. That's the first problem everybody is having. I saw some guys doing ritual on Facebook. They were shouting, if we don't make it, to go tell our mama. I said, what did your mama tell you? Your mother that did not make it, what did she tell you? Everybody wants to make it. Make money is the first thing. And don't get me wrong, there are different ways. I might offer you what I know, what I am aware of, but there are different ways, both good and bad. The most thing is that a lot of everybody just want to make it. There are people who made their first billion just by marrying a billionaire. Hope you know. When the Gates and his wife split, she went to, I don't know the island. She went to one island, and when I heard how much they pay for one per night, the island, over $1 million, she took her everywhere. She was a billionaire. Just by wedlock. I'm just letting you know there are different ways to make money. I can't tell you mine is finer or this is the standard way. But I can tell you there are different ways people make money. And all of us here, I believe some of us make money in different ways. Different ways. But there's one other aspect, which is called keep it. Can we say keep it? You see, this aspect changed everything for me. Next month, we're going to have a bigger conference. We thought of this very late, and we started promoting very late. But we want to start having this gathering where we discuss these issues. Be frank to it. I'm just telling you, the more you familiarize yourself, your mind flow with money talks, the more you attract it. That it works that way. It looks like English, but it will shock you that there are a lot of things you don't know. Let me break it down. When we talk keep it, I didn't know this why. When we hear money, I used to hear things like, I was quite young when I heard a statement of someone said, when you make money, pay yourself first. How many of you have heard of that before? What do you think when you hear pay yourself first? What does pay yourself first mean to you? Right, Sharama? Honestly, I used to think pay yourself means treat yourself first. Abi? But I got an eye-opener that changed everything for me. Pay yourself. The day I understood that pay yourself actually means out of all the money you have, the one that you will not spend for anything, that's the money you paid yourself. Let me break it down. If you earn any amount of money today, that money you just earned, there are a lot of bills around it. Bills like what? Number one bill that you have around it is, you have bills like, let's talk about, you could buy, if you have a kid, you pay your children's school fees, right? That's a bill. If you have transportation, if you have a car, you have to buy what? At the end of the month, AEDC, electricity. You have to get what? Electricity. Somebody say adulthood is a scam because of this. When you start paying, when you are growing up, they are paying it for you. When you start paying it yourself, you just can't realize that, oh, more, this journey is not here. And responsibility, somebody's responsibility comes from when you start paying bills, not when you start growing old. You know, there are people that are 35, but their bills is lower. And there are certain persons that are 14. At age 14, they have higher responsibility than some people that are 40 because they've left their parents home. They are more responsible. Now, the real bosses in everybody's life is the bills. When you work, the bills want to take it from you. Do you understand? Now, all this money that you're spending are going back to people. So the person who owns the filling station has a cut on your salary, whether you like it or not. The restaurant has a cut on your salary. Because these are basic needs. You must eat. You must move about. In fact, you are working not because of your love. The real boss is those bills. If they take those bills off our life, you discover that there are really no reason to go to work, through or through. You will sit down and do it. Be the most lazy person. When bills meet you, sense will come, through or through. If you beg like 5-6 persons and they refuse giving you money, you start asking questions, how do I make money? But inside this money, people don't keep anything for themselves. That's what we're trying to say. They don't keep anything for themselves. All the money coming in are going out. They are spending it back. They've been living this circle of life, year in, year out. Not really because they are not spending for themselves, but they really don't understand that the one you don't spend is what you kept for yourself. Do you understand that? The one that you are not giving out is the real one. And that's what every successful man do. They have some money, they don't. This one is their own. Nothing is touching it. When I got this insight, I started understanding, for every money you earn, how much was kept for you? Because someone else is collecting. Everybody is taking their own cut from you. Which one is your own? Your younger sister took her own. Your mother took her own. You bought clothes for yourself. The boutique took their own, but you actually felt that one was your own. Do you understand? At the end of the year, nothing. So we started understanding. See, make it. Keep it. Keep it simply means, what do you keep down for yourself? You see this simple insight. I told you to sound like English language, true or true. But you discover that most of us are not believing in life. And the last one there is multiply. Can we say multiply? We usually use make, manage, multiply. MMM, 3M, yeah. Make, manage, multiply. So you can record it very easy. Multiply, multiply, multiply. So when I keep this money, what do I do with it? Do I leave it in the bank? No. Do I leave it in a place where they can just lose value? No. we started thinking, how do we keep multiplying this? I've been doing this. By God's grace, this has got me far. You see, anybody can make money, but not everybody can be wealthy. Hope you know that. If making money is wealth, lottery winners will be wealthy. A lot of people have made jackpots and they still went broke. It's not supposed to be complex, but they felt it was complex. The insight was not clear. And I can say, if those things work for me, I say, why don't you create a system? Can we say a system? A community where we have more people that can learn and practice the same concepts. And that was what gave birth to what we call the above system today that we talk about. The whole idea was just to create a system that will allow a lot of people learn what we are looking at for. So we wanted to launch a financial hub called the Above Average Ecosystem, where people can learn how to make money, manage money, and multiply money. We wanted it to be a system where Mr. A comes in today. He's struggling with the whole money-making game. He can practice here and he can learn here. Is it possible? Is it necessary? I'm not getting there. Is it necessary? You don't know what people are going through. And I can say as testimony today, we have successfully done it. Every week, I know how much we pay as commission to people. We now have people earning 500K a week, 300K a week, 400K a week. Those that are not making money very well for themselves already. Some, of course, some people are already making money with their jobs. But one thing I kept emphasizing is for you to start the wealth game, you need to always have the intention to always increase your earning. Because how much you earn, you decide how much you keep and how much you what? Multiply. Do you understand that? Now, how much you earn will decide how much you will keep. Do you understand? And how much you keep multiplying. So when it comes to how do we help a lot of people earn more money here, we want to create a system that will allow the average guy who comes in or anyone who wants to increase his income flow to partner with us in this community and enjoy a consistent cash flow system for themselves. The second thing is, let's teach people how to keep this money. Teach them how to keep this money. It's insight. You won't know until you learn that I need to keep some money for myself. I need to start managing money the right way. And the last but not the least is multiply this money. When it comes to multiplying this money, we have to start creating systems, introducing concepts, services that members of our community can associate with and leverage on and then earn from it. And the first but not the least for us right here, because the above average system, we created a different system right here. We have the IBO community. This is what we're launching. Are we together? Are we together? So we have the IBO community. We have launched the Crypto Club. We launched our Real Estate Tribe. And now we're introducing our Above Average Foundation. This meeting will flow in this direction, where we're going to be talking about how each of these can benefit any of us. How can you benefit from our IBO community? We call it the Independent Business Owners, where we help people to become an IBO, own a business for themselves. How can you benefit from our crypto mindset, our crypto community? How is crypto benefiting us? We give crypto education and our real estate. And I'm going to be talking about starting from the real estate aspect today. The reason why a lot of people who know me knows I'm more excited about it. I started as an investor, first of all. Started as one who wants to understand this thing. And I've been on it for a long period of time. And this was everything for me, because the service offers members the best futuristic value and opportunities on land properties, which can be maximized in different parts of the world. Real estate has been the most lucrative, solid investment. How many of us agree with me? You agreed. Now you don't agree too. Remember, you didn't raise your hand first one. You don't agree. Let me see your hands. Of course, everybody one way or the other see real estate as the real deal. I do too. I was growing up seeing real estate as the real deal. But I don't know how, why. You know, you just hear things and you just believe, but you don't know how. But I was seeing it as the real deal. But I can tell you, in fact, some people consider it as one of the only real investments. Why do we consider this first for the community? We're looking for something that will secure a lot of people's cash. Do you understand? We wanted something that we can, that has shown himself over time to be reputable, to be good when it comes to our members, when it comes to investors' cash. And the reason why this is important is because I'm going to talk about some few things. Someone says if you want to be wealthy, and I'm going to just list these 3 points. Number 1, like I said, you have to learn how to make more money, right? But another thing you need to know is, by the time you start keeping this cash, this money needs to go to real assets. But there was a mindset that changed a lot of things for me. Usually I used to hear things like, when it comes to investment, invest what you can lose. How many of you agree with me? Invest what you can lose, through. Invest what you can lose, through. Now, I used to say that too. But I have been following some top guys. You know the statement they usually say? Try not to lose the capital. See, this is a 2 different mindsets. I was listening to one. He said, rule number 1, try not to lose the money. Because they've cherished that money that they have kept. According to Sam will say anything attacking that one you have kept is the real devil in your life. He said, try not to lose it. So if the man has an intention not to lose it, he will be careful about the investment, first of all, through. When the mindset is invest what you can lose, you don't care anymore. You are more after the ROI. The person is not thinking, I want the ROI first. If the ROI is not high enough, they want to be, this is not a real deal. You see, there are people who look after ROI. You show them a deal. They're after, how much can I get? They don't care if the system is safe. Because the rules is they are about to put what they can lose. This is not the mindset. But this is a reverse. If we want to go with the right direction of how this should be done, the first thing we want to think of is this. If we want to look at places where people's money can be safe, one of them is real estate. That's the real deal. We wanted to create a system that we can show to our members, as I say, this approach, we're doing this because of your capital, not just because of ROI. Yes, it's necessary, but we have to look at it from the right direction. Misconceptions, let's talk about a few misconceptions. When it comes to real estate investments, a lot of people think this is about buying the land to build a family house. And if they are not ready to build their family house right now, there is no need to invest their money in it. So the mindset is, if I can get a place where my family can live, and that was my parents' mindset. My father bought 2. He had the land in Ada George, he had the land in IGP, Port Harcourt. So the one in IGP was the one he built his home. So the one in Ada George, asked him what happened to it. He said he sold it. He said, what was he doing with 2 land? The one in IGP bought it about 120 naira those days. Currently worth over 30 million naira today. But then, what will he do with 2? Do you understand? Because his mindset about buying then was it has nothing to do with investment. He was looking for a place for the family. And he got it. Which is the same way a lot of people are thinking today. I've spoken to some of my friends. They are doing very well. If I ask them to buy a land, I'm showing them a real estate, they say, this is not a place they can build right now. They say, if you have something, funny enough, the one places that they can build, they don't even have the money for it. They say, when you want to build, they say, can I have a place in cities? I want something that looks like city. I said, do you have the money for that? And I say, I'll wait till I have the money. So that's how they fall out of the game. With that, is out of the game. Second mindset is real estate investment is for those with enough money. How many of you agree with that? I'm talking to somebody saying, no, this is for those with enough money. See, the day I understood their eyes is for everybody. These are habits. See, you don't grow big they say you don't grow big to manage well. You manage well to grow big. You will not have to be big before you start living like doing what the wealthy people are doing. You have to start doing what they were doing to be wealthy. This is a place where I met a man in Abuja that told me one time that he retired in real estate. And he was doing very fine, doing very well. He wasn't working, so he was always coming out in the evening, chilling with the guys, luxury cars. When he said it there, You see, I was still with the poor mindset. All I was hearing then was that this man retired in selling. You know, when I hear real estate, I'm thinking of people selling properties. Do you understand? But it became clear to me from what he was pointing. He said when he came new to this town, he was busy buying bushes, buying what he could buy from his salary, whatever he could earn. He was just doing back then, many years ago. And he said his friends, they were laughing at him. I think over 10, 12 years later, the value went so up, everything, and he had enough of it, which is taking me to the next one. Real estate for a lot of people is only just a property to their name. This is one thing in business. General business rules. One is never enough. Hope you know that. There's something I always teach called VVF. If you've gotten my book, it's outside there, value, volume, frequency. I usually talk about the first thing you want to do, you want to attract value. Value is how many persons can. If you have something the world needs, even if you live in the bush, people will make bush track and locate you. It's just simple formula, nothing complex. The next thing is volume. How many persons? Volume works in everything. Everything you see on this earth works volume, which is how many persons can access it. Are we together? Now, the next idea is that when I came to real estate, the first thing I was thinking is volume, numbers, how many persons. Let me share something about numbers here. So I came to realize that it's not just by having a property to your name, it's by having so many. People work hard today just to convert their today's sweat to read, not because they want to spend on it today, but because they want, when they get into the future, they have enough to their name. Does that make any sense? So people think that, oh, if I just have one to myself, I heard somebody say, I've got one land. Then the rest money, they start going to club. They just start spending. It's just misconception. How they think, how do they see it? Don't blame them. Are we together? You offer them another opportunity again when it comes to real estate. They say, no, I've gotten one already. I don't know if you've had those statements. I've gotten one already, I don't need again. Because he's thinking, what is real estate investment? Just have one to your name. The last 1 year is real estate investment, investing in good city. I mentioned that if it's not a city, they are not buying. When someone told me, Dangote buy bushes first, most of the places today in Lagos, before people went there, they were the early guys who bought them long time ago. So they were looking at how do we get this future. In fact, they were buying the future. Let's use the right word. But so a lot of people, if it's not city, because I'm telling you from experience, there were times I had enough money to buy mass plots and leave them there. But I was telling them, take me to city only. And then when you get there, you are battling with the price. I say, how did these people get it? And then you get out of it. I saw Transcorp building as a 90, what did they call that time again? 90 what? 86, right? And I was saying, I was looking at the building, but everything around the building was more important. Do you know what was around the building? Bush. The same Transcorp. Bush. Imagine those persons that were privileged, because every year, every tenure, every time, there are those that are privileged to meet the same opportunity. What do I mean by privilege? Life is a script. You should know it from now. We are all acting a script. If you are broke, you're picking up, your script is a broke script, and you are acting it very well. If you want to change your life, choose another script. Look, the guys doing fine. What are they doing? They are following the script also. Because for every generation, there are certain persons that will be poor, and there are certain persons that will be very, very wealthy. True or true? And the same opportunities that appeared in the past is also appearing. Life is on repeat. Nothing is new. I want to be on the next list of guys that are billionaires. Because the old ones will die and go. Don't you think so? Who will be the next one? You didn't answer. Who will be the next billionaire? Oh, you don't understand. The old ones will die and go. Who are the next billionaires? I'm talking about billionaires in dollars. I know some of you are not even preparing for it. You've never mentioned your name as a billionaire before. Can you say Billionaire Moses? Yes. No, I'm talking about me. Just me. Call me. Say billionaire Moses. Look at your neighbor. Shake. Say you're talking to a billionaire. Some persons are murmuring. They never added billionaire to their name before. You know, it doesn't fit for now, understand? Even when you tried it, you were blaming yourself. Don't try that nonsense. So. But let me shock you. There are no new things happening, trust me. Everything. So the right perspective, let's say I have some few ones. So a real estate investment is, you can consider it as a retirement plan. I think I like this too. When I started thinking about, I read the book called Retire Young, Retire Rich. How many of you have read that book? I will recommend it. I like telling you the books I've read because they help me and I believe they go a long way for you. You know, usually I used to think retirement plan is for employees. Through or through. And you see, the worst part of it, the people who needed it more is the entrepreneurs. The guys who are laboring today. The essence of converting is that I want to start keeping some of my sweats of today. What are you converting some of your sweats today in the future? That's the English, yo. For every of these sweats of today, how much am I converting to the future? How much? You can do it comfortably with properties. And that's what we started teaching people. See, for how many of these things, how much am I converting? So you can create a retirement plan with it. In the next 15 years, I want to retire. So when I read Retire Young, Retire Rich, the author said he wanted to retire by what will I call it? He said he wanted to retire by 45, I think so, 45, 55. And he did it perfectly well with real estate. And this is what we show people, how to convert it to a retirement plan. It can serve as a savings account. I love land banking. I love using the word banking. Because I was trying to do savings accounts and said, because you still need to keep some of this money, but you need to convert them to hard assets. If they remain liquid, you will spend them back again. Are we together? So you convert them to hard assets. It can serve as a wealth transfer to your next generation. It can serve as educational fund for your kids and all of that. I'm even doing this because of that purpose. There are lands I'm buying today because of the future children. You see, First Bank told me one time, if you're working with First Bank, I bought one product with First Bank, which is I would be saving money for the next 15 years, keeping this amount of money every month just for my son. And it made sense. You know why they made sense? When they did the calculation of what 50,000 naira every month today that I can throw away for 10 years will be. Do you understand? 10 years time, I don't need to go through the struggles of thinking, how do I pay for education? It's 10 years. That's a fine idea. But I started doing this by saying, okay, let me start buying some properties that I can buy with little money today. Some of them in the name of my children. Let me see how in the next 10 to 15 years, I hope to liquidate them then. Does that make any sense? Do you know what 500K today will be in the next 10 years? The value. What will be the safest place for me to keep it? The bank? What else? I have a lot of land people here. They just say land. Land. You see, mindset is everything. We might be doing the same thing, but we are not thinking the same way, and our output will not be the same way. Everybody can just go to the bush and look at it. Some persons that I took some people to land, they were saying, why people go come this place? Another person said, I'm paying now. Their views were different. That lady kept asking questions to my brother, but she kept saying, when do you think people will come to that place? I said, yeah, this is not for you. Let's show you another one. Are we together? Because she's not seeing it from the same perspective that others are seeing it from. So, above average group, what we started doing is that we work with Mosaic Homes. We started looking at how do we create real estate opportunities for our members and those people that are willing to subscribe to the deals that we are partnering with. One of them we had vision on is to create a poverty ownership system. We want to bring affordable homes. I use the word affordable and modern because I believe strongly as people, are getting older, the old things are fading out. The cars that your father drove, when you start making money, you will not drive it. They will all be Benz. But the Benz then is not the Benz you are looking for now. It's the same thing with properties too. As people are growing older, they want to move to more modern homes. Are we together? Modern homes. But we want modern homes that are affordable. And we started bringing out crazy designs. Already, this is the plan for Mac City. Mac City is at Airport Road. For those of us that would love to subscribe or know people that would love to subscribe. At the moment, Mac City is going very fine. So the vision here is to bring modern homes and affordable homes. But it has to be modern. Because there's something called modern and there's something called old. Because we are looking out for the people that are coming up. That say, I want to start owning my own place. They shouldn't be buying the old ones. Are we together? And this is our design. This is the design that we're coming up with. That is right there already. This is the view of it. Okay. So the second plan we have right there when it comes to our real estate is the land banking. When it comes to land banking, we're looking out for future cities. We take charge of early investment. And we're doing that for major cities. We're launching a new one now in Port Harcourt. Every city have their next future, where they are going to. Every city. And our excitement here is that we want to be an investor. We want places where we can get our money. But you see, we do them now like everybody subscribe to it. When you are subscribing, it's easier. It takes a lot of things away from you. All the community stress. How is my document protected and all of that. Those are the things Mosaic Home stands for. Ensuring that every subscriber have that ease for their investment. Because the major fear when it comes to real estate is wrong documentation, through. Not having the land from the right source. If you have it from the right source, your investment is always safe. So the other thing we introduce for all our subscribers, we introduce what we call an outright payment and a spread payment. So an outright payment for both the two. You could see this is for Green Hill Estates, the one we can get here. People can do outright payment and they can do spread payment. Let me talk more about the spread payment because it's helping already. Not everybody will have cash all at once, through. And a lot of people don't even know that they can actually participate, start something. I told somebody with 200K, you can start somewhere. She said it's a lie. And she has been wasting a lot of 200K from Ponzi schemes and the rest. So she just started realizing that she can start keeping some of her money down. And then pay the little ones. Do you know some persons pay as low as even up to 40,000 naira every month? Just on keeping this, 40,000 every month, 40,000 every month. And when it comes to, okay, I don't have Max City, I thought I do. Max City people pay 2 million naira to 4 million naira outright payment, 2 million naira initial payment, and they spread the other payment that way. So, because of time, we created a co-funding system for those who want to partner with us. At the moment, we have a 7-month plan for them, 15%, and 14-month plan, 40%. So we also have commitment fee for people who want to even come here. I don't have anything, but I want to start somewhere. They start with as low as 100K. Now, they've done 100K, they start paying gradually, and they own the property for themselves. So with this, we're trying to reduce that mindset when people say, this is only for the rich, through. Do you have a place now? Can you start your land investment now? Or do you have a plan for you now? So these were the ideas that we're putting together, and we said, well, let's see how we get everybody who want to be part of the system, understand how you can enjoy our real estate vehicle. With this, you want to say, oh, I want to be a subscriber to the land. I want to do spread payments. We have a plan for you. But the most important thing that you know where your money is going to. The problem is not always about ROI. Is that sometimes some people invested in some things and they went back and called the people, sir, don't give me profit again, give me capital back. Capital is gone. Some people say, okay, don't give me 100% of my capital. Can I get 50%? Gone. Are we together? We're looking out for something whereby 5 years, because why I love real estate about this, I'm talking about this whole idea is that in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, the only thing you can experience is increase in value. That's the only thing you can experience. And with what we are putting up together, we know that everybody that's going to be our subscribers, this is what you stand to enjoy. Can we jam our hands together for this session? Some of us are frowning. Did I make you very serious? Have I been dealing with your pains? Please look at your neighbor again and smile. Ask your neighbor, were you enjoying this session? Ask your neighbor, do you have a landed property to your name? Have you stopped buying? Are you still buying? All right, so we want to go to the next session of this meeting. This is what I want you to know. This is just what angle. This is what we do. Those who are subscribed with us, where do I put my money? Because the question is, where should my money be? And I told you our number one interest is to get people along with the vehicles that we are using. How can we duplicate the things that we are doing? The second exciting thing that is going on in this community is when we started showing people how we are leveraging on the digital space and blockchain technology. How many of you have heard of blockchain? You've heard of cryptocurrency. I'm saying this because we've seen a lot of people go into this space and messed up, lose crazy money. But we find it, we from the perspective we're working with, is what we're going to be revealing to you right here. And it's still an exciting journey. Most persons are welcoming it. They are getting crazy about it and said, this is why I need to be here. But let me share you this story before I go on. One thing that I know for sure that has always worked for me is this statement. He said, if you are not as current with the current world, you'll be outdated with the past world. The world is always changing, whether you know it or not. It won't be where you meant it. A lot of people became broke because the world left them behind, not because they were not smart. Are we together? I've met people that were broke because the world left them behind. I had an uncle that when the computer prints were coming out, he was still doing normal dabbing, screen printing. And then he told me back then, he brought the print. You know, in the early stage of early innovation, they don't come in their best states. They are still in their formative stage. So he brought that computer print there and poured water on it, and the ink spread. And he told me that the reason why this ink is spread because this computer print is not to be trusted. Nothing like manual. And his colleagues, they were busy going to learn how to start digital print, computer print. I can't forget back then. They were learning these things. The game is changing. At the point, the only thing he could do was stamp. Business was leaving him. Every day, business was leaving him. Because he was still dealing with where he met the world. There are still people who believe that grinding stone is better than blender. When my elder sister did her wedding, my mom still gave her grinding stone. Because she said, there is nothing like manual. You've not had it that firewood food tastes better. They will tell you there is nothing like firewood. But I want you to know something. The world will either leave you behind or you join the world. And the digital space, we will do this community harm if we don't unveil what we are doing and how to align with us. The best man to take charge of this right now is no other person than Mr. Sam. He's a great business developer, and I can tell you this is a man to listen to